Well, good morning. It's great to be back, y'all. Y'all banned me from the show last week, said that you couldn't hear me.
We could not hear you.
Yeah, this is Detroit in black and white. I was out there with my Mormon brothers and sisters in Salt Lake City.
Did you have a good time?
Oh, I was in Salt Lake City. They got a lot of homeless folks.
Been. Oh, really?
Oh, they got a lot of homeless folks. And I was in Portland. They got a lot of homeless folks. And Washington State, they got a lot of homeless folks. They can't talk about Detroit.
So
the people in the red states talk about hellholes of the urban areas, etc. You know what? I went to the shopping area in Salt Lake City in 2007.
You went shopping, or did Jody go shopping?
Well, I didn't shop, but it was the site of a mass shooting. I'm gonna tell you, in Salt Lake City, so they got their own problems. This is Detroit in black and white. I'm Adolph Mongo.
Is it Adolph Mongo or Adolph Romney?
Yeah, right. Yeah. No, I'm Brigham Young. Vanessa Moss.
Hey,
Allan
morning.
Lengel from Deadline Detroit, Washington Post. Oh, the Detroit News.
Oh, he got all his props, and he just said Vanessa Moss.
Because we know you ain't. You know what you are.
Attorney extraordinaire.
And a shit starter. Here we are at McShane's on Michigan and Trumbull. And, another lovely day. Yesterday was nice and warm, and today it's nice and cool. Start with you, ladies first.
Ladies first. What about
outrage of the week?
Well, my outrage has something to do with the outdated laws here in the state of Michigan. I read a commentary, an opinion that was written by Dr. Shri Thanedar, and she talked about how this woman needed abortion, and because of Michigan's outdated laws, it cost her 5 weeks and $10,000. So here's the rub. Michigan had, we passed Proposal 3, but there's some other legislation that was not addressed. For instance, there's a waiting period. This woman had a heart condition, and when she went to the doctor, they told her, listen, you're going to have to terminate or you will pass.
Right.
So rather than leave her children without a mother, right, she decides she's going to have this procedure. Well, because she didn't have a printer, she had to print out this form, this consent form, have to wait 24 hours. Anyway, 5 weeks, it delayed her appointment. 5 weeks. A procedure that could have been done in a clinic now has to be done in the hospital. And because of insurance issues, again, we need to address these outdated laws. It cost her $10,000.
Wow. Who paid for it?
Who knows who paid for it?
Well,
But $10,000 for something that could have been addressed. So those are things that I'm outraged that she had to make that kind of decision. And because she had to make that kind of decision, it was delayed by 5 weeks. That's outrageous. So we need to do something about it. So you could celebrate passing Proposal 3, but there's some other things that need to be passed.
Well, the Democrats, they so screwed up sometimes that when you're in control, you're supposed to have a scorched earth policy. Be in control. Do what you're going to do. But listen, how many, couple votes that they in? They got a majority. Mm-hmm. And then you got some renegade Democrats that say, well, you know what? I'm not going to vote for that, because they live in a district that, it can go either way.
Yeah.
Allan, your outrage of the week.
My outrage of the week is, I'm going to just touch a little bit on the Middle East thing that's going on there. And whatever you're rooting for, or you're siding with the Palestinians, or whatever, or the Israelis, you want to have pro-anti demonstrations on college campuses or whatever. That's fine. I mean, people should speak out. It's America. But when a friend of mine was driving through Dearborn and he sees a bumper sticker and it says "Gas the Jews," we have we have a doctor out in Beaumont in Dearborn, which is now Corwell, and she puts on her social media, Facebook, saying, "Oh, what a beautiful morning! Oh, what a beautiful day!" On the day that people are massacred and babies are burned and stabbed and all that. And then I just want to show you real quick in Cooper's Union, which is a New York private university. There were Palestinian demonstrations, which is great. It's fine, but they had to lock the Jewish students in the library because they were trying to break in. And in here, I'll show you.
Tense moments playing out at Cooper Union during a pro-Palestinian rally yesterday. A group of Jewish students say they were locked inside the library after students involved in the demonstrations ran into the building chanting "Free Palestine" while banging on the doors and windows. One Jewish student that was inside the library speaking to Fox 5.
And so, I mean, the point is, I mean, to me, as a Jew, it's like, I totally get it, what's going on. It's a very emotional issue there, and people should speak out. But when I see, like, gas the Jews and like, get rid of the Jews and stuff like that, I feel like I'm in Nazi Germany, like pre-World War.
But it goes both ways, Allan, because there was a demonstration. I had my phone, was it yesterday, day before yesterday, it was live in New York. Palestinians were protesting.
Right.
You should have seen all the nasty comments. Go back home. You shouldn't be here protesting on American soil. So the vitriol is on both sides. The anger and the emotion is on both sides.
I agree.
I have a friend who works in a gym in West Bloomfield, and it was a Jewish woman who belonged to the gym, and she went in there talking all kinds of smack, nasty, everything. They threw her out and told her that she could no longer be a member of the gym. So, it's going on both sides. And realistically, I heard this morning that the Israelis are now expanding their occupation there.
It's not an occupation there.
Okay.
What? If you want to get into all the, look, I'm not going to, it's horrible watching the bombing there. Hamas declared war on Israel. They went in, they shot babies, they stabbed people. If people who were helping, there was a couple that was abducted. They were driving to the border and driving some of the people from Gaza to get medical care in Israel. So it's just not as clear cut. I'm not saying, look, people should be, when you watch the babies being pulled out of rubble, you should feel outraged about it, whether it's in Gaza, whether it's in Israel. There's no question about it. But, the problem is people don't, look, and I'm not justifying this at all. It was horrific. Look, when World War II,
we don't even need to do World War II. We look back in the 80s and the 70s in apartheid in South Africa, where they were just killing kids and shit. And some of these same assholes who talk all this smack about you can't say this, can't say that, they said nothing. So I understand when people, when you got little kids get slaughtered, or in South Africa, they were throwing tires around folks' necks and burning them up. You know what? A war should be against who? Soldiers. You fight other soldiers and shit. And so now we got thousands of Arab Palestinians living in Dearborn. Listen, the bottom line is you can protest and you can be peaceful, but nobody wants to see bumper stickers. Nobody wants to see bombs killing kids and all that. But war is hell. War is ugly, and you know what?
Don't ask that song says, what is it good for? Nothing.
Just to make clear that, look, if a Jewish doctor puts something on there saying, "Yay, kill the Palestinians," that doctor's got to go. We think about the hospitals as places that treat anyone, no matter how evil you might be. If you've committed a crime, you've murdered, you get treated by. And I know, look, if I went to the hospital and the doctor is like, "Yay, kill all the Jews," I'm like, I think I want another doctor, and I don't blame anyone. And if a Jewish doctor did that, that doctor has to go too. We can't have.
Remember 15 20 years ago, in Sinai Hospital before Sinai Grace. That Sinai Hospital was founded. Why? Because it's Jewish hospital. They admitted a patient in Sinai Hospital who says, "I don't want to be treated by no black doctors, no black nurses." They put a sign up there. It's like that's an outrage.
Right.
You know, nobody wants to see that.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
I said, put that little bastard out. You know what?
This person was in the hospital seeking attention.
That's not the only incident where people have said, "I don't want to be treated by black."
But anyway,
doctor.
we can argue forever. I'm gonna just go. And my thing is my outrage of the week is screw Jim Blanchard and Debbie Stabenow. Where have y'all been in the last 20 years,
Retired.
10 years, when you're talking about Michigan State? Michigan State has been fucked up for a minute. Listen, they got five and had 5 presidents. Oh man, this is more than a banana republic. You know, every month they got a new president. Nobody wants the job. Now you got a so-called angry black woman as the chair of the board, and now they pissed.
Right.
You know, they want her to quit. She got elected to an 8-year term. Now, if they want to kick her off as chair, kick her off. That you can vote her out. But for her to just resign, no way. And for Stabenow, she should resign. And she already retired on the job the last 5 years. She ain't done nothing. You know, and so now all of a sudden they love.
She didn't do nothing.
What did she do? Name 5 things.
Look, I can't say
Name 5 things. Name one thing that Stabenow has done. Name one. 2 things. 3, 4, 5. What has Stabenow done? And Blanchard, he screwed up the state. What? Name it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Done. Nothing. So you know what? That's my outrage. Michigan State. I know that.
I want to answer that.
I know that.
She has done 5 things.
Nothing.
She helped
she got her husband out of jail because he was picking up prostitutes up there in Royal Oak. Nah, that's one thing.
He's in rare form this morning.
Michigan State. I mean, we had, and I'm a graduate of Michigan State. We had the Larry Nassar scandal, which is, again, these scandals are, people knew about stuff and they covered up, and they pushed away. Then you've got
Mel Tucker.
You got the Mel Tucker thing, and then on top of that, when they had the Nassar thing and all that crap was going on,
telling the truth.
they had Engler. They brought in Engler, who's the most. He's like the bull in the China shop. Yeah, it's like they need somebody to come in who's sensitive to like all the assault issues and the women issues.
What he did?
You bring in Engler.
Guess what he did? He went and got former Justice Young, another one who just got paid. They paid him out, man. You know what? Michigan State is dysfunctional. You know, I got a degree from Michigan State. When I was in the 3rd grade, they gave me a degree when we went to visit Michigan State.
That's all you need is a 3rd grade degree.
But anyway, we're going to take a break. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with our first guest.
Welcome, Judge Mathis. Thanks for coming to share an important message with the Wayne County taxpayers.
Well, thank you for allowing me to help. You know, most of my life I was a resident of Wayne County, and so I'm here to help because Treasurer Shabri wants to work with Wayne County homeowners to keep families in their homes and prevent foreclosure.
If you're having trouble making your property tax payments, let us know. We have many resources to help.
Already in the payment plan? It's important you stay in good standing.
Making property tax payments is now easier than ever. We have placed payment kiosks in community centers across the county. We've also added kiosks in our offices. Contact us at 313-224-5990 or email us at taxinfo@waynecounty.com.
And remember, stay safe, save time, make your appointments and payments online.
Anyway, I just want to answer Eric Brown real quick when he says when Jewish people say that October 7th was the worst massacre ever, whatever. I mean, I don't say that. It's a horrible day. There are many horrible. I mean, if you look at around the world, the history of the world. I mean, there's so many horrible massacres, and I mean, there's the Jewish Holocaust. There's the Armenian Holocaust. There's the Cambodian Holocaust. I mean, we can't compare like what's worse and
Middle
worse,
Passage.
but they're all horrible.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
But anyway, listen. Now we got our guest here. He no introduction. He ran for Congress a couple years ago.
Yep.
Last year.
State rep, state senator. Yep. Allan Hollier. How you doing?
I'm excellent. Thanks for having me on this morning.
Well, there's no question, man. Why again, man?
Well, I mean, when you look out at this community, it's a place that needs stuff, right? We've been talking all year for the last 20 years about what people need in neighborhoods. We're talking about housing access. We're talking about access to childcare. We're talking about dealing with elderly parents and not having good places for them to go. And that's not what we're seeing come out of Congress. Like the discussions and the things that a congressman needs to be working on here.
What are we seeing?
Nothing. I mean, when you see from the 13th Congressional District, what is our member doing? Nothing.
Not
He's
one
campaigning.
Yeah,
He's constantly campaigning.
I get a lot of mail. I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
I get mail
I get
with steel billboards
right.
with things like
And
that.
he's playing footsies with fascists over in India. There's no question.
So, Adam, I have a question because
I like questions.
the last time you ran, I believe one of the reasons that you did not prevail is because it was so many people with so many egos that would not get out of the race because they felt like they, that they will be able to succeed.
Yep.
And it is our opinion, because Adolph and I talked about it, Allan and I have talked about it, that if the community rallied around one person, we would not have the person that is currently in office.
And we had
And if
five
we had
people.
strong leadership to say, hey, you get out the race, what you want? Let's broker a deal.
Those
Let me
days
do
are
this, this,
gone.
and
Those
we
days are
didn't have
gone.
that. So what
We
is
don't
going
have
to
no
be different
leadership.
this time for you? Do you have support?
Yeah. So
What's the deal?
time. So last time Congresswoman Lawrence announced her retirement in early January. And so there just was not enough time to
You're so gracious.
show that up.
She knew she was going to leave way before then. Don't play.
She announced her retirement in
I
January.
knew that in 2016
I
when
found
I
out in
ran
January.
for Congress. Okay, go ahead.
And so now, on day one, Congresswoman Lawrence is in with me. The Wayne County Executive, Warren Evans, the chair of the county commission. We announced the building trades. Last week, we'll do 6 or 7 state senators and a number of folks, right? So the difference between last year and this year is, one, people know me, but most importantly, people know who Shri is as a representative. And you get to go side by side. Do I like this or not? And I think the answer is no, they do not.
But how do you, when you had a big field there, how do you convince the other people there were a lot of really good candidates? How do you say, I'm the one, I'm the better candidate than you? How do you convince people on the sidelines?
I think elections mean something, and I think when you saw the results, I came in first or second in 90% of precincts. I was the only, I raised more than $1 million in less than a year, was able to do that. I won on election day. So the only difference in this race was really time. So Shri won because he won the absentee vote, and he won the absentee vote because he spent $2.5 million before ballots went out.
So how you gonna counteract that?
By getting out and being involved early, right? So I got the Black Slates endorsement on day one, the building trades. And we've been rolling out and continuing to do that because people understand how important it is for us to have a member, right? Detroit has had a Black member of Congress for 67 years. And this is the first year that they don't. And that really means something when we start talking about what does representation look like? What are the issues that are being worked on? But most importantly, what is being delivered for our community and our Black institutions?
What has he delivered? Because if I was running a campaign, an opposition campaign, all I would be put up signs say Shri ain't shit. And listen,
I like you doing those kind of things.
Listen, the bottom line is, I done seen him speak at all these places. He say the same stuff. I came in with $20. We know that's a damn lie. He didn't come in with no $20. Right?
Yeah, he likes to say he bought a beer on the plane.
Right. But seriously,
it would have been a very expensive
but
beer.
he started playing footsie with a dictator. I call a dictator out of India that killed Muslims. And
right.
And listen, that played Hindu against Muslims and everybody else. They know how to play that little religious stuff. We're dealing with it now. But the bottom line is, how can you convince folks that he's not the person? to beat an incumbent, they really got to be.
Yeah, and I think he's done.
Terrible.
I think he's done exactly that. So you look at Hamtramck. Hamtramck is an important part of the district. It's a place I represented.
Right.
It's a very large Muslim community. Shri started a caucus for South Asian religions and purposefully excluded Muslims in that
Wow.
space. And so, the Asian American groups that work on these spaces, API votes, have condemned him, have asked him to include that. But I think people understand what that means and how we're operating in space.
What about that socialist group that he said he resigned from?
They say they kicked him out because he was a big supporter of Rahindra Modi.
So he said they said they kicked him out. He said he left.
Yeah, he said he left a month after they voted. But that's neither here nor there. I think the important thing that we need to recognize is your member of Congress is supposed to show up and make sure your life is better.
Right.
And that has not been happening.
Well, Rashida Tlaib said she's tired. She said she'll do it. She said there's people from the 13th they're calling her,
right,
because she can get things done.
Same thing that
usually, incumbents from the same party do not knock each other. In private they might say something, but this has been a public feud.
But this is the thing. We all know that he won. He had a lot of money. Adam, what we gonna do about this money situation? Because we need to, in order to have you represent us. I live in the 13th district.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about the real thing.
You don't have to have dollar to dollar, though. I mean, you can outwork
but
somebody.
you need money to run a campaign. He
do.
knows that because he ran before.
Yeah, you do need money, but it doesn't have to be matched dollar to dollar. I mean, if you get on the ground, boots on the ground, and you have a good, organic campaign, I think you win. I have a quick question for you.
Let me just start.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Shri gave himself $8 million, outspent me 7-1. I raised $1 million, right? Right. And he still won by less than 4,000 votes because there was a very crowded field. You take anybody out of that race, and I would have won.
Right.
I have a question. It's your district represents Hamtramck, and I'm just curious in opinion. I did a piece recently for the Washington Post about the all Muslim consul banning the gay pride flag. And it's been a big controversy there, and it's not going away yet. How do you, if you go to the community and somebody asks you that question, for some they feel it's disrespect to Islam, and the other people feel it's a disrespect to who they are. How do you address that?
I think the flag discussion has made us not focus on the important things, right? People are using flags as dog whistles for the reality of how they feel. I sit on the board of the Ruth Ellis Center. It's a really important cause to me. It's really important if folks who are not familiar with the Ruth Ellis Center. It is an organization named after a Black queer woman designed to help take care of young Black folks who got put out of their homes because of their issues. And I center my policies around trans women of color because they are the ones who no one else is looking out for, who no one else is advocating for. We don't need to be talking about the flag, right? Is their flag policy stupid? Yes. But the issue is, are they doing things to make their community open, inclusive, and protective of people who are LGBTQ? And that's the thing that we should be focused on.
But the gay community over in Hamtramck, they feel like they got stabbed in the back because they was open. They the one pushed those folks that came
called to prayer. They passed all that they were allowed to do call to prayer. They've been very progressive and tried to help out and made them feel very welcome. And then they said, "Oh my God, we feel like you turned on us." And you're right. I mean, it's a symbol. I mean, the flag's a flag.
But it's an important symbol. That's why when we send soldiers into combat, they have a flag on their shoulder, right? It's an important symbol and it's important. I think we also have to recognize why they're doing it and move to the discussion about, are we fixing these other problems? Right. Because, what they said was, you can't fly anything but the American flag. Why did they do that? Because they did not want to fly the pride flag. I think we've got to recognize how we're moving forward and what it means for us to do that. Because we can't just take the symbolic wins. We've got to get the real wins. Because trans women of color are getting killed every day. I mean, you look at, I also represented Highland Park in that space. We have those kind of same things. There was a woman over at the Ruth Ellis Center, the Claremont Center, that was recently murdered. Right? We have a real problem in this community with killing folks in LGBT community.
But you know what? you work for the governor's administration and stuff, and she'll send a big message out that you running. That means that she patted you on the back and said, okay, good luck. And that's a big thing, because usually when you have somebody working in administration,
Right.
and you got a incumbent person from your party, they'll say, no, we can't support you.
At least not in the primary.
You stay in your lane, etc. But people are frustrated that we got this clown that represents the 13th district, because he is a clown. He gets out there and he reads from a script. Now, listen, the bottom line is we got to have somebody that's going to do some work, that's going to get involved with our school system. You know, how do we change the perception of Detroit public schools?
Money. I mean, people always want to talk about parents and all this and that. That's BS, right? We cannot have a system that is designed on parents being good, right? Like, because some parents are good at some things and some aren't, right? But we can make schools better. My daughter goes to Detroit Public School, and when I look around at the parents in said school, it's like, oh yeah, I know you from work. I know you. Yep.
But I got to push back a little bit. I was, during the strike at Detroit News, I was a substitute teacher in Hazel Park. And I could feel the parents. The parents weren't that involved. A lot of them. Isn't there a way to encourage parents to bring them in, to make them feel welcome, to make them feel part of the system?
We could allow parents to work one job. So why are the auto industry? Why are UAW workers out on strike? Because one job isn't enough to pay your bills, right? Why are casino workers out on strike right now? Because one job isn't enough to pay your bills. So the number of people who are working 1, 2, 3 jobs is too high. So yeah, it's super easy to be involved at the school when you have a one income household that pays more than the bills that you need to do, which is what you see at a lot of very affluent communities. You have one parent who goes to work and the other parent who goes to work at school and who manages the household and does all that things like a full-time job. And we saw that during the pandemic, that disproportionately, because of our very rigid gender norms, is the woman. And that is what creates, in many ways, the gender pay scale different, because you have this 4-year, 5-year, 6-year, 7-year gap in your employment when you should be rising up your career.
But we could also have, just saying, in some instances where parents are so tired, they're like, oh my God, I've gone, where a teacher could say, once a week, I'm going to go visit a parent at home and have coffee.
That's leave it to Beaver.
Let's not leave it to Beaver. That's thinking outside.
But nobody's coming. But you can't go to nobody's house. Nobody's no teachers, because they're not letting you come into their house.
But even if you pay them, there's risks that go along with that.
Certainly.
And so I don't know about that.
Well, we have to think outside the box.
No, we don't.
We can't keep saying this is the way it is, and so
we could just look at the data. The number one predictor of economic achievement, of educational achievement, is the educational attainment of parents. So as we look at this system, we always want to say, hey, Vanessa, if you raise your kids right, they're going to be successful.
Right.
No, that's not the case. If you went to Yale, your kids are going to go to Yale. If you went to Cornell, your kids are going to go to Cornell. If you have a high school degree,
Did you go to Cornell?
I did go to Cornell. My wife went to Yale. But as we talk about economic opportunity and change, right? Like, kids who go to Cornell now are the kids of other Black kids who went to Cornell. My Cornell friends were all first generation, second generation. Our parents were working.
Did your parents go to Cornell?
Absolutely not. My mom was a social worker. My dad was a firefighter. Like, that's how our systems have changed. Is there was real opportunity 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago.
You hold tight. We're going to come back and we're going to finish up with Allan Hollier, candidate for Congress, former state senator from Detroit.
And then I also want to ask you what you're doing for the governor before we come back. Cool.
Welcome, Judge Mathis. Thanks for coming to share an important message with the Wayne County taxpayers.
Well, thank you for allowing me to help. Most of my life I was a resident of Wayne County, and so I'm here to help because Treasurer Shabri wants to work with Wayne County homeowners to keep families in their homes and prevent foreclosure.
If you're having trouble making your property tax payments, let us know. We have many resources to help.
Already in the payment plan? It's important you stay in good standing.
Making property tax payments is now easier than ever. We have placed payment kiosks in community centers across the county. We've also added kiosks in our offices. Contact us at 313-224-5990 or email us at textinfo@waynecounty.com.
And remember, stay safe, save time, make your appointments and payments online.
Okay, I was going to ask real quick, tell us what you do for the governor.
So I left my job on Tuesday, but I ran the Michigan Veterans Affairs Agency. I was a member of the governor's cabinet. I was really excited and grateful for the opportunity to serve. I got a chance to see all across the state, but really to take care of people that we don't do a great job of.
So you were in the Marine Corps, right?
I'm an Army guy.
I know.
You know.
I'm just messing with you.
But I still jump out of perfectly good airplanes.
Okay.
I got to jump next week.
So what made you decide to go in the military?
I've always believed that there are places in the world that we have a responsibility and an obligation to go. And I am able, so I'm willing. I think it's really hard for people to say, hey, we should be in this place or not in that place if they are able and unwilling. So I'm able, so I'm willing.
Okay. Do you think that our kids need to do some kind of public service?
I think national service is the right mechanism. I think Israel has a really good model for national service. It provides people military opportunities. It provides them with other ways to be socially engaged. But the most important thing that national service does is it provides a leveling of the playing field for folks. So when we talk about the good old days, like World War II and things like that, you might be in the same unit with Ernest Hemingway. You're in the same unit with Mark Zuckerberg's kid. You're in the same unit with people who have wealth and power and opportunity. And so it gives you access that you would otherwise not have gotten.
Okay.
So I want to ask you a question
ahead.
before you leave. As to the race, how many people are in the race? Do you know?
Right now, just Shri and I.
Oh, awesome. I hope it stays that way.
Me too.
Have
Please
you
let it
heard
stay
others
that
who
way.
are interested?
John Conyers.
I think we are doing
Yeah.
everything we can to ensure that this is what the race looks like. I think last time you saw that there were two people who had a legitimate shot to win that, Shri
Right.
Thanedar and myself.
Right.
Because you know what I'm so concerned
Right.
that if he win again, he's gonna run for mayor. Because his road is to Lansing. Because that's all he want. He want to be the governor. He's dangerous. We need to stop him. There's no question about it. Now listen, 13th district, he's not the one.
Tell all your friends.
Okay, how do they get in touch with you?
They can go to the website, which is adamhollier.com. That's ADAMHOLLIER.com. Or you can give me a call on my phone number at 313-418-0159.
Okay, Adam, last word.
Yeah, I think right now we need to reconcile the fact that we do not have someone who represents us, and I think I would do a good job doing that. I have lived my entire life in the city of Detroit. I live less than 2 blocks from the house I was raised in, where I'm raising my family. And that's what we need to be doing. We need to be focused on 3 very important things. The first being housing. It has never been more expensive to rent, to buy, to own, to maintain a house. And we need that, right? And the second piece is we've got to really start to figure out a way for folks to take care of the people that we love, right? Childcare is incredibly expensive. I have 2 little kids. The median cost for daycare in the state of Michigan is $11,000. $11,000. If you made minimum wage, you're going to make around $29,000 a year, right? And the other thing, though, is we've got to deal with not only raising children, but taking care of our seniors. So the number of families and individuals who have children that they're taking care of on the one hand, and an elderly aunt, uncle, parent, grandparent is going up, and the cost of that and access to service is incredibly difficult. Finding a nursing home or a place is real difficult in the city. So a lot of folks are trying to take care of that person that they love who took care of them for years and years and years at home. And that all goes back to people can't survive on one job. The number of people working 2, 3, 4 jobs is too high.
One last question, Adam. Has anybody from the Congressional Black Caucus reached out to you, or they staying silent?
I've had really good conversations with CBC members. The chair of the CBC is my fraternity brother, Congressman Stephen Horsford, and we've been, he supported me last time. I have every expectation that a number of members will come on board. As we look forward into this, there are 59 members of the CBC, and they would really like to go to 60, and they know that I'm the best chance to get to 60.
Okay.
Awesome.
Adam Hollier.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Thanks. Thank you. And we're going to have a spirited race and stuff.
Yep, and if it's only 2, I'm encouraging people to vote for this of the 2, because we're not getting anything from the one that currently holds office. Okay?
take a break, and we come back. Yeah.
Welcome, Judge Mathis. Thanks for coming to share an important message with the Wayne County taxpayers.
Well, thank you for allowing me to help. You know, most of my life I was a resident of Wayne County, and so I'm here to help because Treasurer Shabri wants to work with Wayne County homeowners to keep families in their homes and prevent foreclosure.
If you're having trouble making your property tax payments, let us know. We have many resources to help.
Already in the payment plan? It's important you stay in good standing.
Making property tax payments is now easier than ever. We have placed payment kiosks in community centers across the county. We've also added kiosks in our offices. Contact us at 313-224-5990 or email us at taxinfo@waynecounty.com.
And remember, stay safe, save time, make your appointments and payments online.
Okay, that was a great interview.
We are back.
Yeah, we supposed to have the deputy mayor, Todd Bettison, come and we're talking about, it's that time of the year, Devil's Night. Well, they call it.
It's not Devil's Night.
Well, they call it Halloween in the D. As far as I'm concerned, it's Devil's Night.
No,
we got a lot of devils out there in Detroit.
Well, then, if that's the case, it's Devil's Night every night, right?
Well, you know, it's interesting. Monday Night Football, you got the Lions, and that might
we talked about the Lions last week. Wait a minute,
the Devil's Night.
sir. We talked about the Lions last week, and I said the representative showed up for 5 weeks. The real team showed up last week.
Listen, you know what? All these people are drinking the Lions Kool-Aid.
Right.
Listen,
The representatives.
That was a horrible game. I only watched half of it. But
Did that even get on the board? I'm asking you.
Jim, come on,
here.
Jim.
You travel with the team.
The Lions are fine.
He traveled with the team.
He's a slappy.
The Lions are fine. This is a problem.
But you know, this is Russ Thomas's nephew, right?
Uncle Ross.
Yeah, you know how that works.
They've done this ever since Dan Campbell's been the coach. They have not been able to fight off a quarterback that runs the football. Since Dan Campbell.
Yeah, I mean,
they're fine.
They're fine. They're going to win 11, 12 games, and they're going to win a playoff game, and then they're going to get their. Then they're going to lose to the Eagles or the 49ers.
Okay.
Well,
And they're lucky they don't have to play an AFC team every week.
Did you watch the whole game
I
last
did.
week?
I certainly
You
did.
sat there and watched the
I did.
entire. Wow.
did you cry?
I didn't cry.
You didn't cry?
I've seen worse. Just like the leader, Jared Goff, said, we've been through worse.
You know what? The Lions. You know what?
I said the representative
Listen.
show. The representative could only last for so long.
The cowardly Lions.
No.
They're
The
doing
pussycats.
Yeah, you know. Well, don't even say that. Well, thank you, Jim. Thank you. Thank Jim Slappy, Russ Thomas's nephew. You know, Martin Mayhew, apologist. You know, but that's the way it is.
Be fine.
We got deputy mayor in the house. Come on up here, my brother.
Hey.
Yeah,
How's it going?
it's going all right.
Happy Saturday.
I'm talking about
Todd
the Lions.
Bettison, how you doing?
All
Feeling
right,
great this
welcome.
morning. Feeling
Did
great.
you watch the game last week?
Yes, I did.
You watched the entire game?
Yes, I did.
Oh, why?
Okay.
You know what?
Why?
Because I still don't believe they're SOL. I'm not. I just think it's a
You've been a
different
fan
team.
since day one, right?
I've been a fan. Yes, I have. I must admit that
Yeah.
a couple seasons ago, I have taken my Lions, hat off and jersey off halfway through the game and didn't go outside with it.
I have been embarrassed for so long to wear that hat or something. But this year, actually, the second half of the season last year was phenomenal. And this year, so far, except for last week.
These people are drinking.
Last week was
Jim
like
Jones
a bucket of
ain't
ice
fried.
cold water.
Yeah.
I haven't been a fan since I was a little girl, but I will admit I went to a party last week and they asked us to wear our Lions gear. Now, I didn't buy it. My brother bought me this jacket, so I wore the jacket. But again, I was just a representative. I wasn't for real.
The late Nell Farr was my neighbor at one time, and I just felt sorry for him. He said, "Don't feel sorry for me. I did. I did well. You know, he loved Detroit, etc. But he said it's just been so much mismanagement. You know, they have the players, and then they didn't have the coach. They had the coach, they didn't have the players. So, you know, now you saying we got them all, huh?
I'm saying that
I was through with the Lions
I'm saying,
and Caldwell. They fired my man.
I'm just saying that, you know what? I have said SOL, same old Lions, previously a whole lot during my life, but I'm not going to say it this year yet.
And this is where players come to die. You know, listen.
Look,
But anyway,
they've had a phenomenal season up until that last game.
I mean, right.
And we hope it's an aberration and
Monday Night
not
Football.
a trend.
And let's talk Tuesday.
Okay.
Let's have a conversation on Tuesday.
All I'm gonna do is call your office and just laugh.
Okay.
They're gonna say, "Man, we got somebody playing crank calls." But anyway, welcome.
Thank you.
This is Halloween in the D, man. What's happening?
Oh, I mean, you know what? I got some notes
orange.
here.
It's orange. Orange.
Know,
Look, guys, it's orange.
It's Halloween. It's Halloween in the D, and the festivities are already starting. So with Fall Fest and Scare Fest, you can go to Palmer Park today. And I just want to get the information out because it's just amazing. Last year, we gave out 1 million pieces of candy. All of our police precincts, all of our fire stations, our recreation centers on October the 31st will be activated. And I can tell you, that's where most parents feel comfortable bringing their kids in the city to
What
actually
what kind of candies are you going to be giving out?
We give out the
I hope
good
not the
stuff.
sugary little nothing thing.
No. One day out the year, the kids can get some sugar, okay?
Yeah,
So, I mean...
No, I mean like good candy. There's good candy and then there's the little junk.
No, we giving out Snickers. We're giving out the, the little
That's
mini
the
stuff.
real,
Did you
that's
bring
the real
any yet?
deal.
You know what? I didn't because I know that...
Man, how you not bring this? It's like a chef coming.
We have adults here. We have adults here. I believe in giving the candies, and y'all don't have any costumes.
Some kids never grow up.
Y'all can get the trick. Y'all get the trick today. Y'all get the trick. But I just want to let the community know that, it's just so much going on. So today, Fall Fest starting October the 28th, and it's 1 to 5 p.m. So it's going to be at Clark Park, 1130 Clark Street, and then also Scare Fest is will be tomorrow, which will be the 29th at Palmer Park from 4 to 8 p.m. So we just have so much exciting stuff that's happening within the city, and it really takes sponsors as well, because this is not in the general city budget buying candy, and so we got great sponsors, and I just want to give it up to them because this year we raised over $90,000 to buy candy and in-kind donations. And just to let folks know, the attendance at our police precincts and fire stations last year was over 20,000.
And what are the hours that people can come for candy?
The hours, typically, they start at 5 o'clock. They start as early as 5 o'clock. And it's just really amazing. And it goes on until around 9 p.m.
Are kids going from house to house these days, trick-or-treating in the last several years? I don't know.
Yeah, they do. They typically, like I said, like coming to the recreation centers. But
do they notify the police precinct that do y'all be on?
We do. We do. We have extra officers working. We have beefed up officers working to ensure the safety. I can tell you some of the hot spots where kids are trick-or-treating in neighborhoods. Palmer Park, Indian Village, like kids know. Sherwood Forest. They go where the big nice houses are because they figure they get like the full-size candy bars there.
Right.
That's what I've been told.
Right. I talked to somebody yesterday, and they said that they had just moved in their home the day before Halloween, and they had so many kids knocking at their door, so they were going to go buy candy so they could be prepared this year. So kids still go and knock on doors and say trick or treat.
Right.
In our general service department, Ray Solomon, the Department of Neighborhoods, this is really their baby. And all of our department heads, typically, they work for the mayor. Like, they get involved with the trunk or treats. We all go out and volunteer. We're at the police precincts with the trunk or treats, dressing up in costumes. Dave Bell won last year. He had on some pirate, hookup. But we really, really get involved in this.
Did you worry about, back in our day, sometimes there'd be like
y'all older than me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Great razor blades in the apples and candy that looked like it was tampered with? Do kids still have to be aware of?
Our thing is, I don't think anybody's eating that apple, and so
Right.
we all
threw those
Right.
apples.
nobody wants the apple. I would
Oranges,
oranges.
yeah.
Safety is first. So you want to be able to inspect the candy, but ensuring that with the wrapper that it hasn't been tampered.
Right. So are you dressing up?
No, I'm going to be the deputy mayor. So it's an expectation, because when I show up, they want me to look like that. Otherwise, I just look like everybody else. So
I was about to say something, but I'm not.
I'm the only one that's like, I'll be in a suit. I'll be
As
in my part.
a fire department on high alert.
Oh, absolutely. They're always on high alert, but quite frankly, we're getting fewer fires now on Halloween and during what used to be called Devil's Night than we get on a typical night. It's Angel's Night.
Yeah, and so now it's Halloween in the D.
Yep, we started in 2022 where we stopped with all the extra patrols and the lights. And the reason we did that, the mayor used to go on college tours and would talk to kids, and a lot of out of town young folks would say, hey, the children from Detroit always say that on Halloween, all they remember is a lot of flashing yellow lights with all the adults getting together.
But we had to do that.
We had to.
There's no question. I was there when they first started, and you know what? And that stopped a lot of that.
It did.
But Eddie, one good thing about it that it has evolved to something real positive.
We want to have the best Halloween celebration for our kids. I believe in the city of Detroit creating opportunities and experiences where you don't have in other places. So, when our kids talk about Halloween going forward, they're going to be like, the city put on the best Halloween in the D party ever.
If somebody want to give you some money, how do they get in contact?
Oh, absolutely. Let me let you know exactly how to do that, because you can go to our website, HalloweenInTheD.org, and all the details about how to get involved, how to volunteer, how to even send more money. And just to shout out to our sponsors, and one of our biggest sponsors was Hollier, and just want to give them some shout outs as well, because, and then Ryan Hubble Auto Parts, those were the title sponsors. So it's always important for Detroiters to know, who's really investing back in the city. And with this investment, you can see real quick the happy faces of children as they're eating the candy. And I encourage anybody who volunteered to come out or who gave money to come out and see what their money went to, because it's going directly into the bags of children.
Is it HalloweenInTheD.com?
It's .org.
.org.
Yes.
Do you still need volunteers?
Oh, absolutely. So they can volunteer via that as well.
Okay.
Oh, well, I'm telling you, you look like you got it down pat.
Well, I just appreciate you.
Even though you stingy with the candy.
I appreciate
He didn't bring it.
Yes, that is.
Right.
Yes, that is. And I appreciate the fact, Adolph, that you allowed me to come on your show with this platform to be able to make sure that Detroiters are getting the information so that they can, like we're starting today. So it's activities that they can participate in Fall Fest, Scare Fest.
And you know what? And we're glad to have you. The other week we had Chief James Harris from the fire department talking about how they were preparing for Halloween in the D and stuff. So it takes a hell of an effort to make this work.
And is there, when people are going to the recreation centers and stuff, is there actually a party there, or are they just coming to get candy?
Oh, it's activities. It's hay rides, it's parties. We completely decorate outside the rec centers. We got haunted houses. Over at the 10th precinct, there's going to be a haunted bus. So no, it's activities.
Oh, okay.
And matter of fact, if you're brave and you come out, I don't know if you want to, but hey, it's pretty scary.
Lengel already got his.
We do not let. Now, if you're gonna go in, if you got a concealed carry permit, we're not gonna let you take your firearm because you might get too scared and start doing something else.
I'm not Allan. I'm dressed as Allan. It's Halloween.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you, Deputy Mayor of the City of Detroit, Todd Bettison. Thank you, my brother.
Thanks so much.
And Adolph, I'll talk to you on Tuesday.
Okay.
After Monday Night Football.
Okay.
All
Okay,
right.
that's fine.
Good seeing you.
No question. We got or that wimpy burger. I'll be glad to pay you on Tuesday.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, the Deputy Mayor of the City of
Thanks.
Detroit. As we come to a close, we got one final guest running for Mayor of Farmington Hills. That served on the council, Theresa Rich. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I love the
Welcome.
conversation about Halloween. That's such an important thing. I did trunk or treat at the Farmington Y last night, and we had a couple hundred kids there, and it was a marvelous time.
Do you have a lot of people that, a lot of kids that go up trick or treating in Farmington Hills?
We certainly do, and in fact, when I'm mayor, one of the things I want to do is help Farmington Hills Halloweens be something the kids really love and think about when they want to decide where they're going to come back and live. So I'm going to bring forward some beautification awards, and where people just go extra on decorating their homes for Halloween and make maps of those and let people know where to go find the joy and find the happiness.
Good morning, Theresa. We
Good
met
morning.
before. You're very active in the Michigan Democratic Party. We met when I ran for office. Good to see you. I understand you're running for mayor.
I sure am. And thanks for having me. And it's great to see you all this morning. I appreciate this being my inaugural time on Detroit in Black and White. And I was talking to my friend Terry Johnson this morning, who said to please pass along his greetings.
Good.
Yep.
What are some of the pressing problems up in Farmington Hills? I know y'all closed the school. Harrison when I was in high school, I remember when it first opened, they beat us in football, man. That was there's no question.
Yeah.
How do you losing students? That means when you close schools, that means the student population is vanishing.
Right. And that's an epidemic all throughout our state, and we need to take affirmative action here. There are so many wonderful things about our area and our community, but the truth of the matter is that while I am mayor, we are going to shift from being a community where we have more households with school kids to having more households with seniors. And so one thing we need to make sure we do first is provide the services that the seniors need. But then what is it we need to do to bring the younger people in? Brian and I moved to Farmington Hills when we were getting married, and that was 31 years ago, and we've raised our family here. But I don't know that I'm getting my daughter home from Cleveland. And so we need to do the things that'll bring us forward, things like making sure that there are things for young people to do. One of our council members, Jackie Bolaware, we're supporting one another in this campaign. She's running for re-election now, and she talks about how there's really very little that you can go to if you want a burger and beer at 10 o'clock at night. And when we were trying to figure out where were we going to have our victory party, we had 3 places to choose from. And that's not okay. That's not going to attract people to the city. And so we need to do more with public art. We need to do more with offerings. You talked about the Harrison High School, which is now our community center, the Hawk. We're doing some fantastic offerings in terms of community activities. Again, the arts. That's what revitalized Grand Rapids, and I think that's what will help revitalize Farmington Hills.
You just reading in the paper, y'all had an issue with the basketball program.
It's not the program; it's the coach.
Right.
And I would have thought that they would have done some kind of background check or something like that, because kids are vulnerable. That's a very vulnerable population.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And people like that. And let me say this, very careful. There are allegations, but he was accused of this same activity years ago before he came to Farmington. Mm-hmm. So I know that is a huge conversation in your community.
Yeah. So I am not privy to the details of what is happening in Farmington Public Schools. I am on the Board of Education for Oakland Schools, so that's for the county and service providers for the county. I do know that anytime we do hiring, there are background checks, there are fingerprintings done. So what I do applaud in terms of how it's been handled, because first off, we can't minimize that damage has been done to children, and that's not okay, ever. But what I do applaud is that when the investigation occurred and they found out what happened, they not only terminated this coach who was the alleged perpetrator, but they also terminated the people who knew about it and did not come forward, because number one, we need to protect the kids. And so in Oakland schools, for instance, when we have field trips, we do not ever have a child go on a field trip with only one adult. We always make sure that there are at least 2 adults present, because number one, we need to make sure children are safe. And
election time. When is the election?
The election's now. So election day is November 7th, but today was the first day of early voting. And this is our first time to have actual early voting in Michigan. So early voting's already been going on at the Caustic Center, which is on 11 Mile Road between Middle Belt and Inkster. And we've had about a dozen people show up for early voting already today. So yeah, election time is now.
If somebody want to volunteer on election day for you, how do they get in touch with you?
Gratefully, thank you. My website is electttheresarich.com. And so it's THERESA Rich, RICH. And there's a form you can fill out, any contact information, and we'd love to have you. We will have people working the polls on election day. Between now and election day, we're going to do a lot working the phones.
Okay, we're going to have you back on when you celebrate your victory.
Can't wait.
Thank you. I know this was the last minute. Glad you can come.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Theresa Rich.
I'm going to ask you to do something, Theresa, before you go.
Yes, ma'am.
Just like you told Terry you were coming on the show, you tell the rest of your people to watch Detroit in black and white on Saturdays from 10 to 11 o'clock. I want them to like, subscribe, and share.
I'm on it.
Saturday mornings, 10 to 11. Like, subscribe, and share. We're on YouTube, Facebook Live, Deadline Detroit, X, Instagram, and Facebook.
You got it, Vanessa. Thank you.
Thank you, Theresa.
All right. We'll see you after.
And y'all didn't let me talk last week. I'm trying to make it up.
Okay. Yeah, you really are.
Yes.
You did have technical difficulties last week. You were in Utah living the life.
You got 2 minutes.
We were here in Michigan in Trumble
at 2 minutes. Go
at Miss Shane's, where we broadcast every week.
I want to thank our guests, Allan, Hollier, Todd Bettison, Jim, Theresa, Allan Lengel. Your final thought?
I'm going to go on an upbeat. Tonight is I've sort of lost my way with the Pistons because they've had so many lousy teams. They won the other day. They're 1-1, and they're playing tonight as opening night. They're playing the Chicago Bulls at the Little Caesars Arena.
Oh, so you want LCA tonight?
Huh?
You want an LCA tonight?
I'm not going to go.
I am. What is it?
Well, that means
I'm not going to pay $80 to see.
Will be doing
I'll wait till they win.
The losers, all of a sudden, the losers, the Red Wings, the Pistons, Lions, these people, what are they drinking here in Detroit, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, Tigers. They really, your final thought.
The Red Wings are actually doing well so
far.
far.
Red Wings, that's preseason. That's
like they're into the real season.
Oh, it's a real season? 4 seasons, 3 seasons?
4 seasons.
Well, last week I was early. I was like, oh, well, this is Halloween weekend. Well, last week wasn't. So this is Halloween weekend, the weekend before the holiday. Everybody go out and have a good time. Those who celebrate, be safe. We heard about all these free events that's going on in the D. So take advantage of it.
And you know what? I just want to say, when I was in Salt Lake City,
Adolph Romney.
they had they had dinner with a real nice family, and their daughter works at a coffee shop, and she asked me, she said, Tim Hortons. They don't. I didn't think about it. They didn't have a Tim Hortons out in Utah, and she said, I want to drink some of that Tim Hortons coffee. Now she's 17. She likes coffee, makes coffee. Told her I'm gonna send
How does
some
that come
Tim
up?
Hortons.
How are you going to send it?
Oh, you can easily send it. You can send Amazon. You can listen. There's always
Okay.
so Tim Hortons coffee tastes pretty good. It's all, you don't drink coffee.
I
do
don't
you?
drink coffee, so yeah.
Oh, I forgot. What do you drink? You drinking the Kool-Aid or the
Water.
Lion?
No, absolutely not. Water,
Okay.
tea.
But anyway, I want to say,
Vodka,
I want to say,
wine.
my final thought is, when people don't have
Playing.
access to certain things. When I lived in Colorado, people wanted me to send them Coors beer because they weren't selling it.
Right.
I said, that's water. That's not even real
Or
beer.
people who leave here and go
Burners.
elsewhere, they want
They want burners.
Coney Island. They want
Yeah.
burners. They want butter made
You
chips.
can get American Coney Island. They do ship here in
I
Detroit.
don't eat
Race Caros.
Well, anyway, we're going to let it go. That's the end of that's it. It's over with. Thank you, Allan Lengel. Thank you, Allan.
Hello.
Thank you, Vanessa. Thanks, everybody.
All right.
Bob Roberts.
Roberts, the corner of Michigan and Trumbull, McShane's. All right.
Thank you.